The ancients understood that the mind and the heart follow the voice. So the voice acts as a kind of steering wheel for where your thoughts and your feelings are likely to travel. So the things that we say have something to do with what we'll think, because we're our own first audience for the things that we say. Even if you're talking to somebody else, you hear you. And so the quality of the sorts of things that we say to ourselves and to one another has everything to do with the shape of our lives as it unfolds moment by moment. So the ancients understood that if they gave themselves something better to say than what otherwise might be said, they would get something better to think than what otherwise might be thought. Within the Hindu tradition, the mind is likened to an insane, drunken monkey who's just been stung on the paw by a scorpion. Now get a hold of that image, okay? Because it fairly accurately depicts our mind under stress, which is perfectly normal, perfectly mundane, and also is a condition of suffering. So wouldn't it be nice if we had the capacity to sort of change the channel when the program isn't working out for us, to alter the quality of our experience by altering what we're thinking about and what we're feeling for. This practice is about attention and affection. It's about where we put our minds and where we put our hearts. Now, ordinarily, when folks think about yoga, they're thinking about where we put our bodies. That's in part because there's been a pretty massive reduction of yoga in most people's understanding, in the popular understanding, to physical postures. But yoga is a complete system for the whole of our lives. And so it has to do with putting ourselves very intentionally into certain positions, but these are positions that we occupy with our bodies, with our minds, with our hearts, with the whole complement of dimensions that make us who we are. And so yoga, which I'm sure you folks have all heard many times by now, comes from the same Indo-European root that we get our English word yoke, W-O-K-E, from, as in to yoke two oxen together so that they could pull a plow. It means to unite, to integrate, to connect. And so when we chant devotionally, what we're giving ourselves an opportunity to do is to integrate, to reconnect, to reunite the otherwise fragmented and sometimes painfully separated aspects of who we are, from one another, from ourselves, from the divine, and to bring it back together into one. So, mantra, which means, some people would say instrument of thought. I think mind protector is a particularly apt translation. These mind protectors are tools by which we save ourselves from the frustration and confusion and overwhelm that our minds and hearts get themselves into. We bring ourselves to peace and we elevate the quality of our thought. In other words, we address the fact that we have a great deal of thoughts, too many really for us to handle, and the quality of such thoughts as we have is sometimes dismally poor. It's even toxic at times, yes? Does anybody else poison themselves with their mind? Yes, of course you do. We rehearse all kinds of ugliness. So when we chant a mantra, what we're doing is we're taking up the possibility that we can reduce the sheer number of thoughts down to one at a time. And we're elevating the quality of our thoughts from thinking about whatever to thinking about what we love best, to what is most supreme, to what is most beautiful. And so we handle the quality and the quantity question at once.